Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Nick here. I'm with my friend and client Kevin Schmitz. Kevin, welcome to the interview today.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to dive into your story today, your most recent transformation. Kevin recently joined our VIP weight loss system. And Kevin, tell me a little bit about some of what you were experiencing or feeling kind of before, because we've known each other a while, and you knew what we were doing. And what's unique about your story is your wife was also in the program too. So tell me a little bit about, or tell us what you were thinking, feeling, kind of concerned about when it comes to your health before joining our program.
Yeah, sure. If I think back of before the program, just years over years, you gain a little weight, you think, oh, it's, winter time, I'll get that off, when summertime rolls around, I'll work off what I gained in the winter, but then just kind of layers on over time. And, really this, late last year, it was really looking at making a change. I don't know, it just felt like there was more there than I wanted. And, I hit the, one that level that I said I didn't want to pass, and that also impacted who you said that barrier which you don't want to cross for weight. And I crossed it and, pulled back and then crossed it again. I'm like, yeah, this something's got to change.
Yeah, so you made the decision to join the program. Tell us now, that's 90 days ago. So knowing you needed to make a change, probably feeling it too, maybe the way you felt, your energy, the way you looked in your clothes. I know we talked about those things throughout your transformation. You made that change 90 days later is all. Tell us, first of all, what was the scale victory in 90 days for you?
Well, it's about 27 pounds down in that time, so I'm
Right.
pretty happy with that. I mean, my goal was not 27. I think my goal was 20, and I
Yeah.
thought that would be a stretch to hit that. So, once I hit that goal, then it was, well, let's see what else we can do, and not knowing how far you can go, that's helpful.
Right. So what happened kind of with your journey was is you went a little bit past what you thought was possible in 90 days. What the power of that, and we see that often is just once we get your body into, that fat burning mode, we get that metabolism fired up, we get the body overcoming, resistance to fat loss. What's really cool about how the program can work is with time, really can see what the body is capable of. And oftentimes, so many are really surprised by how much more they can actually do. Because what did you say? You felt like we kind of went back to your high school swagger or your high school. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, if I look at my records, I only have probably about 15 years worth of weight loss records that I could find, and yes, I'm lighter than that ever on that scale. But, I'm trying to think back to where I was at the high school or college. I'm probably back to, where I graduated from college at weight, which is, that seems like a long time ago.
It's incredible. Think about that. I mean, I'm not going to ask you how long ago that was, but to go back metabolically to where you were, in your early 20s, that's incredible. And I know you're feeling a lot better too, other than just the scale, because we all know that's not what it's really about. It is an indicator, and we do track that obviously. But what else has changed outside of the scale? Because oftentimes that anybody can lose weight. It's not always the most difficult thing to do, but what's important is you do it healthfully. What's important is that you do it with a plan to sustain it that actually nourishes your body, right? So other than the weight loss success that you had, what are some of the other key changes that you're, experiencing now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's eating things that are better for me and better portions for my body than just eating whatever because I'm hungry or I think I'm hungry. Something that just I don't. It is food diet, but it's diet from a perspective of just eating what's better for my body and more proteins and more vegetables and better carbs and being more predictable in that versus some bad habits of too often of things. And the other side is just exercise too, of just fitting that into the routine and making it, before maybe it was, work on this for a while and something, work comes up or life comes up or whatever and back off it and just being consistent.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what can happen when you make nutrition and that the foundation. Because once we see that happen, oftentimes is we take somebody who maybe wasn't exercising on a regular basis. I mean, look, you dropped 27 pounds. You know, a lot of studies suggest that's like 4 pounds, 5 pounds of pressure on your on your joints, on your back. It's equivalent to 100 to 125 pounds of pressure. So sometimes, like carrying some extra weight, carrying inflammation, not only does it confuse your hormones and leave you feeling kind of tired and lethargic, it actually kind of hurts more when you do exercise. So losing that weight, that inflammation, oftentimes we see people pivot and stack another healthy habit, and oftentimes exercise is that next frontier. And that's something that I remember coaching you through and talking to you about as I challenged you in your journey to kind of level up in that space, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you responded fantastic to that challenge, man. And because, look, heading into the next couple decades of your life, what are some of the goals? What were some of the visions that you have for what that looks like? Maybe after your work is over, maybe you're in your retirement. I mean, what are some of those, things you wanted to accomplish, and what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, it's eventually, children are great, but grandchildren are a different era of being able to be active with them, and they're not here yet. That's still a few years away, but just making sure that when I get to a certain age, that I can still be active and I can still do things. I don't have to worry about, all right, well, how long is it going to take to get up? Can we walk to the park? Can we do whatever? So yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just not being in a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, what a great way to leave a legacy, not only, as a man from your work and from your finances, but also with your health and creating those opportunities to have real life experiences in person and showing up that way. So you have the plan in place to do that. You're at the point now to carry that forward. I have no doubt that you will. And it's really cool to see that transformation. So, I'll tell you, I have a lot of people that follow us in the VIP weight loss system, and a lot of them are watching. Maybe they're thinking about transforming their health, similar to what you just did in the last 90 days. What advice would you have for that person who's hesitant? Maybe we could talk about this too. Maybe they're a little. Let's talk about this first, actually, because I'm interested. Because you were a little bit hesitant about the GLP-1 peptide as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you hesitated in that step?
Well, I mean, it's from my viewpoint, the news, the media, it's newer. Maybe it's been around for a while, but it's newer in just how it's applied, and you read different stories. And is it going to be some sort of yo-yo diet, or hey, great, you dropped all this and now you gained it back, so have you really done anything? So that, and just I like to say no to drugs, prescribed or otherwise, and it's not quite a drug, it's something else, but yet. It's still, I do want to be careful about what I put in my body, and would I be dependent on it would be another item.
Yeah, well said, and I'm glad you brought up some of those key words there, because I'd like to speak on that a little bit here, because like you said, it's like a drug, but it's not a drug, and that's something we talk about in our program, is give you the education is like what this actually is, and you're right, it's not a drug, okay? It's classified as a drug because the FDA needed a place to put it, but as I've taught you and my followers, this is more of a synergistic protein that mimics a hormone that already exists in the body. So what we're doing is we're working more targeted, and we're synergistically working with the body to get a desired result. And oftentimes what that looks like with this peptide, as it works, as this hormone is designed to do, helps curb some of those cravings, helps you feel fuller longer. It overcomes some of those hormone obstacles as it kind of balances those blood sugars. And we use a low dose, don't we? So tell me a little bit about that for you. I mean, did you feel any side effects at all on this? I mean, did you experience anything like that?
Yeah, no, it was pretty easy, and to do it once a week was pretty easy. And I changed some diet before, just entering the program before you go on the peptide, so you can see, what your progress is, and I think it's a layer that helps.
Yeah.
But as far as, any side effects, I mean, I suppose I didn't have those large cravings during the day of, I need some chips or popcorn or something.
Yeah.
that's an effect, is a side effect. I don't know, I guess you call that. But otherwise, no, nothing. I mean, that's the other time. Anytime you take something, prescribed, there's always this list of all these things, and
Yeah.
somewhere that happened to somebody, but it doesn't mean it happens to everybody.
No. And typically what we see with that is those that experience side effects are always on the highest doses typically. And so they're leveraging this amazing peptide with no plan, no system, and they're usually, Kevin, on 5 to 10 times the amount of peptide that our clients are on. So thanks for sharing that. Let's go back. What advice would you give to somebody who's been watching this, curious, hesitant, not sure, sitting on the sidelines in their health, wanting to make a change? Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, I think I've never done a weight loss program, anything official. Just you go to the family doctor and lose some weight, exercise more, but that doesn't
Yeah.
really didn't help over the years, I think. But so it felt like a good thing to try. My wife had started it, and I thought it's a good opportunity for us to do something together. That helped, but even if I didn't, just to get you over that obstacle, that hurdle, I suppose it's just about probably hearing more from other people that this isn't something that is harmful to you, the program or the peptide. It's something that there's good results, and if you think about it, when you change something, you're always hesitant. You know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. But I think as I look back, I don't feel like I've put something in place or done something that I don't like or enjoy, or that it's a burden. So I suppose that's the other side, is we feel like a weight loss program is a burden. You're gonna starve yourself or something. So,
Yeah, so many are. So many are restrictive. So many, eliminate food groups and things altogether. It's great to have a plan in place that you can still enjoy some of those enjoyment foods, right?
yeah, yeah,
And so, awesome. What you're hearing is, you don't have to give it all up, right? You don't have to eliminate food groups. You don't have to have a restrictive plan. And when it comes to the peptide, you can leverage the most modern technology when it comes to science. When it comes to science and weight loss, you can leverage a low dose of that for a short period of time while we help you with a system, with a plan to give you the tools, the training, and the lifestyle habits to sustain it long after you've leveraged a low dose peptide, right? So thanks for sharing your journey. Congrats on your 27 plus pounds off with a plan to sustain it. Congrats to you. I know you and your wife are going to continue to do amazing things together as you age gracefully and as you conquer this health problem that we all have to at some point put some work into.
definitely.
Thanks for joining me today, Kevin, and sharing some of your journey with us. It's truly going to inspire others and hopefully, help them take that leap forward to get their health back, get a plan in place so they're not burdened by their health down the road. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Keep that. I'll edit the rest of that out. We can wrap it up, man. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah. Let me know if you need anything else. Otherwise, it feels pretty stable. I like it. So yeah, it's January is a leap of faith, but I don't know, it's been a good leap. So that's good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, look, I have no doubt. I mean, if you follow the basics of what we've taught you, man, and right now, 85%, right? 85, 90%. I just don't see, watch your portions,
Yeah.
keep your hydration, keep your movement, push the protein, okay? You follow those pillars of the program, this will be the path. I mean,
Yeah.
if we have to down the road, I tell everybody when we leave, when we exit,
Yeah.
if you have to come back and see me again, if you've 10, 15, whatever, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That can happen over time.
Yeah.
Over time.
Just
If you're
to
getting in the
recap.
weeds, if you're feeling off, reach out. We can discuss what that looks like. Hopefully that's long down the road,
Yeah.
down the path. But right now, what we have is a system, a plan that you can now work. And the hard part is going to be in sustaining this. It's really not always getting there. It's going to be now in this years-long journey of staying consistent
Yeah.
on the path as it waxes and wanes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Any feedback for me on the program? I know I've asked you before.
Yeah. You know, I didn't mention this before, and you've probably heard this too. You know, sometimes though, you know, let's say you're eating your evening meal, and you know you've got your different components put together, and it's the, you know, before it used to be you'd eat one until you were full, and sometimes you know a little bit more or whatever. But you know, sometimes you get to the, I need to finish that protein. You know, maybe I'm full, but yet I do need to keep my protein up. So it's finishing that last part of something. So I mean, I think that's important. It's just.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. So,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
oh yeah, it's looking for the internet connection. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so it's just making sure that you finish what you start. I mean, it's not a clean plate club, but yet it's that protein's very important, and you know, just as.
Well, here's the key on that is always eat your protein first.
Okay.
Okay, then your vegetables,
Yeah.
and then your carb, your starch.
I try to get the vegetables in first so I don't skip those and they get squeezed out, but yeah.
I would probably reverse that. I would really try to focus, make sure you get the protein done, and
All right.
then I would move to the vegetable.
Okay.
Truth.
All right. No, that's I thought about it, but it's things like that you don't think about. It's
Yeah.
you know, so
If
sometimes
you're going to leave something on the plate, I would probably try to leave the carb.
the carb, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like it's if it's this much portion, you know, the plate or whatever, and you know, it's just probably that last 15% of but I suppose if I switch that around, then it's the
Yeah. Yeah.
because I need the protein, and that's sometimes
That's all.
what,
Yeah.
you know,
Protein's going to sustain you the best, and so, for you, 160 to 180 grams of protein every day. And then if you have to supplement some collagen and some protein powder to get there, so what? That could be 20 to 30 grams of it. The other, 120 are going to be coming from your three balanced meals.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, feedback though. I mean, I think again, it's all doable. It's I suppose again, it's just making sure that you put all those pieces together, and I think you do a good job of pointing that out. That it's not just one thing. It's not just let the peptide do it. Don't just let whatever the diet do it or exercise do it. So it's putting those pieces together.
Okay.
So I mean,
well, and that's partly because you showed up on the calls and you asked the questions.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't, and they lack, maybe they know the basics of the program, but they lack some of those nuances, and it's like how to work through going out for dinner like you did that time, and how to put this all together. What we're trying to do is teach you guys how to think like Kim and me, and how we navigate life. Because that's really the whole point of the skill is you're learning from us, is that's what we're trying to teach, is a skill set. And I think at the end, that's really what it's all about, is you're trying to learn a new skill. And it's learning a new skill takes time, and you're going to fail, and you're going to, you have to practice it, and you need feedback from somebody who knows the skill. And I think that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything to change.
Okay.
I mean, eventually someday the peptide will be, as you say, it holds a lot better in its shot form than a pill, but someday maybe it'll be a pill, and that's good.
Oh, they already have that. I mean, they're already. That's kind of the next thing with the big pharma companies are pioneering that research. But it's a daily pill. Personally, I would rather take a 1 second shot once a week than I would a daily pill. But they've worked. The science of it is they're trying to, because whenever you take anything orally, it's got to go through the liver and the digestive system.
Yeah.
But they have a way now to where it doesn't affect the liver at all and the digestive system through how they have like a patented coating on the.
Sure they do.
They're smart people,
Yeah,
I
they
tell you.
are.
I mean, in chiropractic, we're trained to kind of hate pharma,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, they're not always wrong.
Right.
And where they're wrong is keeping people hooked on it forever without a lifestyle plan to get off. And I think that's where they've been good at, is hooking people for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But I talked to a lot of people and said, why are you still taking a statin? Why are you still taking that? I mean, a prescription really should be a short-term intervention with a lifestyle change. Doctor, the word means to teach, and if you're not teaching your clients, you're just a drug dealer, and that's not what we got in this business to do. So,
And I do worry about food companies just manipulating things so you get past that. Whatever that would be, why you do that. I mean, I guess the idea is you sell more stuff is the idea. So if you can get around the whatever.
well, cost is a factor. If they can lower their margins, if they can get enhancers, flavors, stabilizers to make their food last longer, taste better.
Yeah.
and cheaper, they're going to do it.
But if that bypasses,
Well, what happened too was a lot of people don't know this too, but during the farm crisis, when the food in the early '70s, we had such inflation with food inflation that Nixon really pushed hard for shelf-stable food products. He kind of took us not off the gold standard also, but also the food standard of farm to table,
yeah,
because we needed to curb the rising costs of food. So he said if we make it can last longer and it becomes more stable, then we can keep our inventory high and then we can lower prices. And so there was a big scientific push back then with big food to stabilize the food chain and make it last longer through preservatives and things like that. And that hasn't proved to be helpful,
right.
for our health, because a lot of excess weight really comes from toxins and inflammation, and encapsulation from fat cells with those toxins. So detoxing and cleansing is one of the most foundational components. That's why we have the lemon water first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's why we have the salt water and the hydration, because that's that cleanse, that detox, that liver kidney cleanse that you need to help your body flush those toxins that it's picking up from a little bit here, a little bit there, our hair products, our food products, and our water. We got to help our body flush that stuff.
Yeah. Good. Well, anything else? Otherwise, I'll let you get back to other things and all the summer activities.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day. It's fun. It's what we love to do. But yeah, so thank you for your time and your trust in this program. I mean, it's really great. And Heather, I see her coming in. She's doing great too.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you guys. This journey doesn't end for us. I'm looking forward to continue to take care of you in the chiropractic practice. And if you ever have any questions, man, I'm there. You can pop in or shoot me a message on Facebook or whatever.
And I think you do a good job of this too. But part of it is when you do a couple that's on the program, you'll point out that the guy will often lose weight faster, and that can be discouraging. And so, early on, Heather would watch and see, and maybe it was not a competition, but yet, to her, and I think it just takes a little longer for women and for her. So I think, yes, she was making progress, and now she's making, so it's great. So yeah.
Yeah, it takes them a little longer to overcome that resistance because they've got such bigger hormone obstacles to overcome than men do. So keep supporting her. The best way you can support her right now is by keep buying in with the food journal or the food plan, and not trying to deviate too far with the fun stuff, and just making sure she's got to stay about 95% in.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh yeah.
Whereas you can maybe do 85,
Right.
You want to stay right there with her, because that's going to just keep building her foundation too.
Yep.
And together you'll be surprised what you can do. So again, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for this time. Do you mind if I share some bits and pieces of this
Yeah, that's fine.
on Facebook? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And maybe even on my practice email chain
Yeah.
as well. Okay. And if you have those before and afters, if you want to share them, I would love to show that to my audience as well.
Okay.
If you're open to that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the quality of those pictures, but again, the idea was you were short, so it's I think I'll look at those. So that's good.
Yeah, and if you want, we can always put something over the face too.
Okay.
We don't have to, give your identity.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook much?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
More.
If I had a reel though, maybe a reel that we talked about, could I tag you in that or?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
All
We'll
right.
be in touch.
See you later.
Take care. Have a good day.
Yep. Bye.